Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Lenore. How are you?
I'm a little better than you are.
I know. I'm hacking away. I got the summer cold upper respiratory thing going on.
It's not fair. I'm just hopefully getting over it.
I know.
What are we talking about today on Mingle?
Wow. Lenore wants to talk about dating.
I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about modern day dating. Right?
And what, you can cut this part out if you don't like it. What two good girls to talk about it? One's in a long-term marriage, one's newly divorced.
Hey,
we're the best to discuss.
I have an actively dating 34-year-old, so I do hear a lot about it.
That's true. You are a subject matter expert.
And I hear a lot about this from my clients, don't you?
No, my clients, it's interesting. The type of clients I have, they're either in long-term marriages or they're like, I'm never dating ever again.
Oh, wow.
So I don't really have that niche of people actively dating. So you will be our subject matter expert.
I will be, because I have a lot of women that desperately want to have families and are in that 36, 37-year-old time frame that are just, they don't have anybody and they're just running out of time.
What a horrible feeling, running out of time.
Running out of time. And the older you get, the less viable your eggs become. And so, a lot of people are doing the egg freezing thing, but that's not guaranteed.
And it's a very costly thing. It's not guaranteed, and it's a very privileged thing to be able to do.
Very privileged if your insurance pays for it. And it's not easy because they come in here and they're bloated and they feel terrible and they're injecting all kind of hormones. And back in the day, I mean, when you did that, you had some consequences. You could develop cancers later and health problems later in life. Yeah. Now it's much better now, but it's rough. Yeah, the odds are really not in your favor, unless because you could pull out like 15 eggs and only 3 of them are maybe there are 7 that are viable, and then maybe 3 of them turn into embryos, and maybe you can only use 1.
It's so stressful. So stressful. And Lenore and I, we do a lot of core wound work, and just even listening to you, just thinking as a woman, biologically your clock is ticking and you're running out of time, and this urgency to find a partner, if that is your goal, to have a child biologically, I'm just thinking of all the core wounds that kicks up.
That men don't have that, because they can you could be Robert De Niro and have a kid at 85 or whatever he is. But anyway, how do you meet people? How do people meet people? No one talks to humans anymore.
No, they don't.
No one meets at the gym. I remember the gym used to be a place where you could always strike up a conversation, and it was a very social place. Now everybody's in their own worlds with their
AirPods are in
with their headphones, and they're not talking. So how do you meet people? Do you meet them through friends?
I mean, I think that's the goal, but I think
that is the goal.
We live in a very insular society. So I think that unless you're in a very fortunate situation, people aren't as community oriented as they used to be.
Oh my God, no.
When I first started dating, when I was an adult dating, right, I was part of a group of friends that we all had dinner together and we all did stuff together. And then over the years, over the 10, 12, 15 years, people got married, they've gotten divorced, they've had kids. It's not that people don't want to come together as a collective, but this one has soccer practice and this one's coaching this and this one has homework. And we don't live in as much of a communal society as we used to, which I think also makes it hard to meet people in person.
That does make it hard. Or let's say you met somebody. Let's say you're like, oh, I met Jack. Do you know Jack? And your friends would say, oh, he's a good person. Oh, he's great. Sorry about that. He's a great person, And we don't have that anymore. So when we hit the dating apps, which everybody does hit the dating apps, right? What happens? I was telling Melissa today, it's like you're on an interview. And you're looking at a picture. You haven't met them in person. You don't get the vibe. You're looking at am I attracted to them? Right. I don't know. Smell is a big part of attraction. You're certainly not smelling them when you're looking at a dating app, right? and there's this pressure, I think, with the dating apps, everybody's going after the same 5 to 10%. What about everybody else? Like, you might look at somebody who you don't find very attractive, and if you dated him or her, you might begin to find them very attractive, right?
I'm a very emotionally connected person. Like, anyone I've ever dated historically, I initially thought they were attractive, but I do find them way more attractive as I'm having a deeper emotional, mental, spiritual connection.
Absolutely. I remember this one guy in high school. He was so gorgeous. Everybody was in love with him.
Ooh.
Well, when he grew up, he beat the crap out of his wife. And I remember as soon as I found that out, I was like, you are not attractive.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm glad you had that perspective, Lenore.
I just looked at him and I went, oh, this is gross. So, what we were talking about was you have a coffee with someone and then you decide, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I don't like them. And the information that you get from dating is between date 3 or date 2 and date 45. You don't say no, because you might say, look, he's protecting me, or I like the way she laughs, or I like her values, or just the way she looks at me is great. Right. And these are just like so many little things over time.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing that anymore.
It's a shame.
No, it's really sad.
It is sad. It is sad, because I think those are the little things in which you build a relationship, even a friendship. It's the things that come over time. We have, we both are friendly with Tyler, who works here, and he is protective of both of us. That's something that comes in time. You don't see that right away.
No, you don't see that right away.
I bring us, iced teas. That is like God. A love. That's a love language. You don't see that over time, and I'm not saying that protective or iced teas are the thing that make the relationship, but it's all the middle stuff that helps it grow and attach.
It's the little things. It's
the little love languages that you're not going to get day 1.
You're not going to get day 2.
No.
Right? And in fact, you might not like the person. And conflict. When you have these conversations that are deep, some people call it trauma bonding. You're talking about all the hardships in your life. They're talking about the hardships in their life. These are the things that form bonds. You don't form bonds over, hey, how's the weather? You just don't, right? You
don't form bonds over that. And no, we definitely have lost the art of communication. We definitely have. And I think we live in a very high stakes society. I won't get into details, but a friend of mine, we had never talked about politics. We're newer friends. And over the 4th of July, I broached something about politics, and they said, okay, thank goodness we're aligned in this. And I thought we were, but I can't assume anything anymore.
Yeah.
But we're also living in a culture that's so afraid to talk about some of these high stake.
My God, that cuts off half the dating pool.
It does.
Or 40% of the dating pool, depending on how we're polling right now. But yeah, it's so interesting. But I think, too, like with as we're scrolling on TikTok and we get these little 20, 30-second, 40-second bursts, we're doing the same thing with dating. I'm seeing somebody for 40 seconds. I'm supposed to make a lifelong decision.
That's insane.
In 40 seconds, all you're doing is finding a way to eliminate is what you're doing, because nobody's getting a real chance.
No, it's not real. It's
not
real.
None of it. And that's why they don't work. But then how do you meet somebody? Right?
You're asking the wrong girl, Lenore.
I think we should be matchmakers. Maybe we make some money side hustle being matchmakers, right? How did you make it? A better place is like on a blind date, because if somebody knows you and they know them.
Right. That's nice.
An old-fashioned way is through your parents. If they know a family, at least you know the family. You're not going to be chopped up and thrown in a dumpster.
One could hope.
But I think you do have to give it more of a try. And to find 2 people on a dating app that are willing to do that would be the goal. Speed dating is probably better, right?
That's what we should be doing. We should be setting up a speed dating event. And that would be fun.
But then if you have pics of numbers, then you have to do it again the next week. That's the spin. And the next week, that's not a bad idea.
Stay tuned. Coming fall 2026, speed dating at Lehigh Valley Counseling.
But don't expect
Not day one.
Don't expect more from the dating apps unless you find somebody. You say, look, this is the only way we're going to do this. Like short dates, and we have to have a couple of them.
Well, and speaking of that too, this is interesting. And again, this is just what I'm hearing from friends and clients is they're either making really quick snap decisions and cutting people out right away, or they're becoming pen pals. And just talking forever and ever via text. That's also creating a false sense of safety. You need to meet in person.
I agree.
Don't become freaking pen pals.
And they become pen pals forever. And they've wasted 7 months or 8 months into this person. And it's going nowhere.
But it's also not real.
It's not real.
I can say anything I want when it's curated. I can present, if we're jumping on a FaceTime, I can present the way I want. You're getting the real authentic part of me as I'm walking through the hallway and I'm busy and I have, 100 things going on. You gotta get into reality quickly. So I do think the reality is we live in a society where you will meet people online 9 times out of 10, just because of the nature of life. But I think move it into reality as quick as possible. So you can see some of the nuances. You can see how do they treat the wait staff. That cuts out a lot of people.
That's a big one. That's a huge one. Yeah.
If I'm your pen pal for 7 months and then we finally go on a date and I see that you're nasty to the hostess and you're mean to the waitress and you're checking out the other waitress, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
But I've wasted all this time.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. And I think if friends, friends have friends, like tell them, do you know any single women? Do you know any single guys? Like that's a good way to get set up, right? Mm-hmm. To hang together as groups and to like really feel each other out. But I think you're right. Everybody's making snap decisions. And I feel like they're also making snap decisions about divorces. They're just like, I'm done. I'm out. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't know. Marriage is made up of a lot more than, sometimes you love them. Sometimes you hate them. Sometimes you can't stand them. Right. But yeah, it's a road. It's definitely a road. So, and if there are kids involved, that's a whole nother topic, but we'll save that topic for another day. So for right now, the dating apps, they're interviews. They're interviews where you're quickly dismissed and hardly ever, and keep in mind, everybody's competing for the same 5 to 10%. So what are your chances there? Right? Maybe give the person a chance that you're not super attracted to. I don't know. Because how are you attracted to them? On some stupid photo? I don't know. Meet them in daylight for 10 minutes. You might really learn to love them. Who knows?
Oh. I like low stakes dates, like going for a walk or going for coffee. It's like, it doesn't have to be this crazy thing.
It shouldn't be.
Or financial investment, let's be honest.
It shouldn't be. I don't think it should be.
A nice little walk.
Exactly. And you're like, set time, 20 minutes, we're out. Yeah.
All right. I like this.
Yeah, I'm the girl that likes the parties that are 5:30 to 8:30. Everybody's home.
Oh, I love that. And my jammies by 9.
Your jammies by 9.
Watching Bravo with Patchy.
All right. Good luck in the dating world out there. And what do we always say?
It's all going to be
all going to be okay.